Hey everyone, today we're going to be exploring Midtown East as well as the United Nations. Today is September 22nd, 2025. It is the main UN General Assembly week, and you can see there's going to be tons of police activity and security due to the major event, so I thought it'd be appropriate to explore Midtown East and walk over to the UN to give you a behind-the-scenes look of what the city's actually like during this very crazy and hectic time. I do want to quickly zoom in on this building right here. That's the Lipstick Building, and behind it you can see 432 Park Avenue. The Lipstick Building is where Bernie Madoff ran his Ponzi scheme back in the day. We're going to be headed southbound. This is 2nd Avenue and East 51st Street. As a general rule of thumb, it's probably not wise to commute into the city with the vehicle. You can see across the street all the police officers and things like that acting as security detail. You're also going to have a lot of streets closed off in general, especially around a lot of the five-star hotels. This is now East 50th Street. In between 2nd and 3rd Avenue and 50th Street is one of my all-time favorite tea places if you're interested in matcha tea. The place is called Tea Room by Complex. You can see you'll have NYPD officers on every single block leading up to the United Nations. Here's another one right here on the corner of 50th Street. A quick side note, particularly on 2nd Avenue, you really got to watch it with all these bikes, especially the food delivery bicycle guys, because the vast majority of the time they come in so hot, they go so fast on those little bikes. It's very reminiscent of like kamikaze planes during the Second World War. That's not an exaggeration. The amount of crashes and accidents, just horrible accidents that I've seen this year with those food delivery bike guys just barreling down the bike lane, don't stop at the red light and just freaking splat like a fly on the side of a big truck or a car or a garbage truck. I've seen it countless times. So if you're crossing the street in New York, make sure you look both ways, even if you have the right of way on the light, because these food delivery bike guys are insane. You can see more checkpoints here. pretty much all up and down. There's no vehicle parking anywhere on the street. This is now East 48th Street. You can see more barricades and police officers here. The JW Marriott Essex House is where President Joe Biden used to stay when he would be in New York City, and a lot of other diplomats stayed there as well. I believe the Korean diplomats, or the South Korean diplomats, stay at 50 Central Park South, which is the Ritz-Carlton Hotel and Residences. You'll notice specific neighborhoods like Sutton Place as well as Beekman Place really fill up during the UN General Assembly. There's more security details here. Here's an NYPD checkpoint. But I quickly want to show all of you this. This is the brand new 270 Park Avenue building. This is the JP Morgan Chase office tower that's set to open right now, but officially opening in October. Here you have a major NYPD checkpoint here. The entire street is closed down. It is an exciting time in the city, though, I will say that. It does bring a lot of economic activity to Manhattan. To have a lot of the world leaders and diplomats being in town, spending money at the hotels, the restaurants. Here's a great shot of the Art Deco beauty of the Chrysler Building. Looks like we may have a little bit of a protest. We're now in the corner of East 46th Street and 2nd Avenue. Looks like we have some sort of a demonstration going on across the street. is Stop World War III. I think we gotta wait for the light on the other side. You even have the Secret Service police out here. Definitely very tight security. We'll try to go around the block to the other side.
I went for a jog to Central Park yesterday morning. So I couldn't. 6 in the morning.
I guess that's a downside of living over here, right? Once a year, you're going to be extremely inconvenienced. Like, imagine living in any of these apartment buildings here, or even across the street, just the amount of noise and activity. Could definitely be a hindrance to the community. Let's see what we have coming down the bike lane. Looks like more police activity. Oftentimes they'll have the flag of the country on the cars, so oftentimes you could tell which country they represent. Okay, we're now on the corner of East 45th Street. This is headed towards the Tudor City neighborhood of Manhattan, and we've done many walking tours of Tudor City before. It's a very, very nice place. And Tudor City was originally constructed to be a middle-class neighborhood in Manhattan. It wasn't really catered towards the wealthy at all. It was catered towards a middle-class New York. You have ATF Police as well as more Secret Service on the corner of 45th Street. Security is definitely very tight. Seem to be doing a good job all around. So shout out to these police officers for doing a good job. And here you see more roadblocks. So no vehicle traffic going in and out. Jeez. That USPS driver's going crazy. And as I've said before, no parking across the street. have helicopters in the sky. This is probably the most surveilled New York City will ever be. This is an all-day bakery and coffee shop. Gonna have to check this one out. And this is the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I believe this is their consulate, which is quite nice. Right on the corner of East 44th and 2nd. It's interesting walking around and seeing everybody from different parts of the world coming together in New York City. It really showcases how New York City is the quote-unquote melting pot of the United States. It's also quite refreshing to think that perhaps some progress will be made on major issues around the world, one could say. Alrighty, this is headed towards 43rd Street. I'm not too sure when we're going to be able to make a left because all of the streets are blocked off. We may not even be able to get to the United Nations. I guess this year the security is so tight, and rightfully so, with all the craziness that's been going on in the world in terms of political violence and such, so I understand. But I used to see people like right up at the United Nations with different protests and things like that, but perhaps not this year. This is now 43rd Street. Looks like even 43rd Street is restricted access. Well, at least you could see a little bit of the United Nations in the back. We'll have to cross the street as we can't even walk on the sidewalk by 42nd. Make a bit of a detour here. But if you look at the license plates of a lot of the vehicles, the blue and the red means diplomat. You could also see it on the plate. And that's the United Nations building there. All right, everyone, this is 42nd Street and 2nd Avenue. And I believe we have a pretty big police presence over here. I don't know if we're going to even be able to walk over here. This video may be for nothing, which I apologize for. But it doesn't look like it. I think 42nd Street is totally closed down to vehicle traffic and pedestrians. You can see the Secret Service across the street here. It's cool to see it. And it looks like they're rocking long guns too. Those are probably like M4s or something. Let's see what else we got. Just a lot of U.S. Secret Service vehicles and barricades. The building that we're standing right outside of is going to be the largest office to residential conversion in the United States history. The largest office to condominium conversion is 1 Wall Street, which was Harry Macklow's project. Harry Macklow is the same developer who did 432 Park Avenue on New York City's Billionaires Row. And Pfizer has now relocated their headquarters to the Hudson Yards. Here you can see the Chrysler Building and 1 Vanderbilt. This is right outside of Pix 11 News, New York. Let me see how close I could get you guys over here. This looks to be a checkpoint. More Secret Service officers. I'm trying to see what they're saying up there. We have that main security checkpoint.
Don't give her out! Alright, you continue to walk.
feel like they should just close off the street to everybody. Let's continue to head downtown. Let's take one more look at this Chrysler building, though. It's a beautiful building, great shot with one Vanderbilt and the Chrysler in one. Look at all the bicycle traffic that's backed up. We'll continue to head southbound on 2nd Avenue, approaching 41st Street. This would be walking right up into the neighborhood of Tudor City. We've done many walking tours of Tudor City before. Many diplomats live in the neighborhood.
It was like midnight or like 1.
As to why you see all of the road closures and the barricades to prevent not only pedestrians going through, but vehicle traffic as well. This is East 40th Street. Maybe we'll go ahead and make a left here if we can. Excuse me. Hopefully from here we'll be able to have some sort of a vantage point looking over the United Nations. I think I just saw a few FBI agents. You have the NYPD Emergency Service Unit. And look at these beautiful buildings of Tudor City. They have a hazmat team here. Hopefully we won't be using that. Wow, look at this thing. This thing's like a tank. It's almost like something out of a Batman movie, right? NYPD Emergency Service Unit. And here we have Pix 11 News.
Good job.
This is probably as close as we're going to get to the UN. Really stunning views overlooking to Queens. This is now First Avenue and East 39th Street. Looks like another big motorcade here. almost had a collision with the NYPD officer. I don't know. With all the stuff that I've seen in the city, and granted, it's probably because I'm out and about way more than the average New Yorker walking around. Just the amount of accidents that I've seen involving bicycles, and the accidents that, I mean, some of the accidents I've seen have been so brutal and so gruesome. I don't know if I'd ever ride a bike in this city on the streets. It's just, people are too reckless and too careless. And let me tell you something, the most reckless drivers in this city are the New York City bus drivers, okay? And that's not to single anybody out. It's freaking nuts. Like, those guys and girls will just totally run you over without any remorse. I've seen just horrific, horrendous accidents in the city with people being dragged by the bus, cyclists just being completely bulldozed by the New York City bus drivers. So, would not recommend the bus or a bike as a mode of transportation. See all the specialized vehicles here.
Oh my god. No, we're doing the shopping specials.
Hey. Okay, this is now East 37th Street. If these trees weren't in the way, you'd see this spectacular view of the Empire State Building. But unfortunately, the trees are in the way. We'll try to go on the water to get a glimpse, or hopefully to get a glimpse of the UN stuff. See a little bit of the 59th Street Bridge. Wait for this light. Wow, what a miraculous view. Let's start to head uptown a little bit. You have the glorious 59th Street Bridge in the distance. And across the water, you have Long Island City, Queens. Such a nice area along the East River. You got a dog park here. Decent view of the United Nations. But I will say, you can really smell the exhaust from the cars building up on the highway. There's the water taxi taking off. There you can see some of the Tudor City buildings. Wow, I think that's either the Coast Guard or the NYPD, but you could see the big boat. I think that's a 50 cal machine gun on the very front of it, all stationed right outside the UN. check that out. You can see more military boats, police boats here. Yeah, that's the Coast Guard. It says U.S. Coast Guard on the side. We pretty much have everything covered. You got birds in the sky, police officers on the ground, FBI agents, everything. And now we can see the Chrysler Building and 270 Park. That is such a unique shot. Zoom up on this Coast Guard ship. You can see the machine gun mounted in the front. And you have the Pepsi Cola sign in the distance, overlooking Long Island City. Alright everyone, if you enjoyed that walking tour around the United Nations during the UN General Assembly, feel free to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and as always, we will see you in the next one, and thank you so much for watching. Take care.